Hi, in this video, we are going to create a dynamic chart in Power BI that shows actual sales for the past months and forecast sales for the future months. We will break this down into simple steps so whether you are a beginner or intermediate user, you will be able to follow along easily. Let's look at step 0, understanding the data and importing it. We are using an Excel file that has two tabs, one for actuals and one for forecast. The actuals tab has daily sales data for 2024 and 2025, for the last date being June 2025. Secondly, for the forecast tab, it gives us monthly forecast amounts for 2024 and 2025. Now, let's open Power BI and import data from Excel. Let's select the sales data workbook. Select both the tabs and click on Load. Our data is loaded. Let's move on to step 1, creating a calendar table and relationships. To get everything aligned by time, we need a calendar table. So let's go to Modeling and click on New Table and create a table using the DAX formula given in the description box below. I'm going to paste it. This table gives us a continuous date range, a formatted month-year label, the year, and a sorting column. Now go to the model view and create relationships from both actuals date and the forecast date to the calendar date. Done. Before jumping into visuals, let's quickly plot a simple matrix to understand what we want and how to achieve it. We will add the month year column from the calendar table and two columns for actual sales and forecast sales. Notice how actual sales ends in June 2025 and forecast sales spans across all the months from Jan 2024 to December 2025. Let me add a page level slicer for year and only select 2025. There, we have a much more cleaner look. Now, what we want is one single column which will have data for actuals until June 2025 and forecast from July 2025 onwards. That is why we need to create a combined measure. Let's build it step by step. So let's add a measure. Let's go to Modeling, a new measure, and call it Combined Sales. Let's add a variable for the last sales date because we want to know the last date for which we have actual sales. So we use maximum of the actual sales date, close the brackets, return the last sales date. Now, if I plot this measure on to our table, we can see that it gives me the last date of each month. This is because the actuals date column is interacting with the calendar table. So, to remove that interaction, we will add a calculate function and a remove filters function. Let's go into the measure. Let's write a calculate function comma remove filters from the calendar table and enter. Now we can see that we get 30th June for all the months, which is the last sales date of actual sales. The combined measure needs to have actual sales and forecast sales. For actual sales, it is quite simple. Let me write a variable actual sales and take a simple sum of actual sales amount. Now for forecast sales, and here it gets interesting. Let's write a variable forecast sales. We want only the forecast data after the last actual sales date. So let's write a calculate function. Sum of the forecast sales amount and for the calendar date to be greater than the last sales date. Let us return only the forecast sales and test the results. Now we can see a problem. Since the calendar interaction was removed by the earlier remove filters, the amount shows up in all the periods. So we will wrap the date condition that we have added within a keep filters. Simple as that. Now we can see that the forecast amounts are appearing only for the forecast periods after the last date of actual sales. Now in return, all we need to do is add actual sales. There, we have the actuals and the forecast sales column created. All that is left is to put this on a visual. Let's delete the table and plot a line chart visual. Let me expand it. Add month year on x-axis and add our measure in y-axis. And add the actual sales column to y-axis as well. Ensure to put it below the measure. Format the forecast line as a dotted one. And there, you now have an insightful chart that shows actual sales data until June and a forecast line from July to December, both cleanly connected. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and like the video. It really helps more people find this content. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more practical Power BI tutorials, Excel tips, and analytics walkthroughs. And if you have any Power BI questions or ideas for future videos, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.